Alright, so this will be kind of a feedback slash critique for hxgrid? Hagrid? Hexgrid? I don't think I've given you feedback before, so quick rundown. I go by TK Shazam or Shazam. I like Tekken and talking about it. I'm just a nerd who likes Tekken and talking about it. I am by no means a professional player. I just play a lot of Paul, fight a lot of Paul, watch a lot of Paul, played a little bit of Feng and 7. So I hope to give you some food for thought. Okay, so this all started because you asked, why was I getting fucked this entire game? Entire gymnastique. Fuck's sake. I'm going to echo a lot of what Blooming Lotus has already said. You're getting knowledge checked, right? We can talk about some structural issues with your offense and stuff like that, but the main thing is going to be your lack of punishment and lack of knowledge checking. I'm going to highlight and pinpoint specific areas where I think you should do a little bit more labbing. But the running theme throughout today is that replay takeover is your friend. All right? Anything I'm telling you right now, you can discover yourself by utilizing replay takeover and just trying shit out. If you block a move, check the replay. Was it punishable, right? Was it low? Was it mid? Was it high? Did it leave them? Maybe it's not punishable, but it left them at -9, so maybe you can take your turn, right? Can you step, right? Can you move around the move? And build up that knowledge base, right? That will help you in the long run about how to fight Paul and deal with all the Paul things, right? Yeah, let's go into it. Round start, this is a very evasive shoulder. It's also -14 on block, which is very punishable, right? If Paul's like throwing out this move, you kind of want to second guess your pressure. Something to also consider is, did this happen at the round start here earlier as well? Okay, so look, yeah, I know you said to ignore the round start, but here's another thing to consider. All right, round one, this guy just immediately slams a button. He slams something evasive, right? He slams his high crush option. Round two, where do we go here? He slams. Yeah, that happens. Round two, he slams his other evasive panic option, right? And then let's go to round three, right?
Round three. Fight.
Whoa, that's crazy. He pressed another panic option. And it actually reached your backswing blow, which is crazy. Okay, that part is legit crazy, right? The point I'm trying to make is stop mashing, right? You, against, not just in general, not just Paul, but in general, right? You got to stop mashing at round start. These players at the ranks that you're at are willing to mash at round start, so you just got to wait. Just hold back. If they start mashing, you hold back, see what they mash with, and then punish it. That's it. That's the lot of the secret to early online Paul, right? When you fight advanced Pauls that like mix up their stuff, then we got other issues. But for right now, this Paul is 3 for 3, bro. This Paul is 3 for 3 on I'm gonna mash something at round start, and so you just gotta hold back and block, right? At the very round start, this low that he's doing, right? It's not natural combo. If the low hits you, you can still block the rest of the string. You just don't mash into it, right? As we see later, right? The shoulder I talked about, the shoulder is -14. The neat thing is that this power crush, where is that? This power crush shoulder is also -14, right? Very powerful options, but very punishable on block. So don't mash into it, just let the Paul punish you, or mash and then punish it. Once he starts mashing safe stuff like down forward 2, quarter circle back 4, stuff like that. Then we can talk about something else. But right here, you're dying because you're too trigger happy to run your own offense, right? That's the first step. That's the first start. Let's continue here. Paul has 2 lows that are used a lot as gimmicks. QCF 1+2 and forward 2-2, right? We'll look at forward 2-2 later. Right here, he's doing QCF 1+2. This is -12 on block. Punish it. Additionally, anytime you see Paul close to the ground like this, like right here, right? Both of the lows, the gimmicky lows, he can cancel, right? He doesn't have to finish the low. But if you react properly, if you see Paul dip down like that and immediately react with hop kick, right? It will destroy both the low because of low crush and the cancel because it's too fast for the cancel to recover in time for Paul to block, assuming you're fast enough with your reactions. In a situation where you get knocked down like this, right? There might be some issues with timing. You might recover too slow in time to hop kick. This is where replay takeover comes in, right? You're going to use replay takeover, take over this exact moment, so like right around here. So right here, use replay takeover, take over your character again, and try to mash hop kick. See if you have enough time. And if you're going to block it, at least punish it, it is -12, right? These are gimmicky lows. This low, and then, does he do it here? That low's real. The little low, this low kick, not this low kick. Right, that low kick's real. That's really useful. We can talk about that later, or just ask questions about it later. I don't really care. This one is another gimmick. He can cancel the low. It doesn't matter. The moment you see Paul looking at your toes like this, right? You launch him. You just hop kick on reaction. You have a fast low crush option. Some characters don't, and that sucks to be them, but that's not our problem here, right? You need to practice reacting to it. You are just getting knowledge checked. That's the bottom line here, right? The Paul does some stuff that is not knowledge check based, but that's not the issue. The issue is you're not going to get to the real match before dealing with this stuff, right? I respect the attempt. I think what you're doing here is good. Use replay takeover. Did you need to react faster? Could you have used a different move to whiff punish forward 4 here? I think if shoulder's not working, I don't think anything else is really going to work. Because if shoulder is too slow, well, see if the issue is the range on shoulder. It looks like it might have been shoulder was fast enough, but doesn't have the range here. So maybe something like forward 3-4. See if that will work. See if the punish lights up on replay takeover. If not, it is what it is. Just try to avoid, if you see Paul whiff like this and you're not in range immediately to like do the punish, just let it go, right? This one's kind of tough. You have to be kind of early. You have to practice the timing on it. Okay. The jumping punch he does is very linear. It's also super plus on block. It's good on you to not mash here, right? You're not mashing. But you need to experiment with movement more. Try to sidestep right, sidestep left, whatever. Up forward 2, which is the jumping punch he did, stupidly linear, right? Stupidly linear. Just don't bother trying to duck it, right? He has a bunch of mins that delete you. Just step. Just use movement. Sidestep right is very effective against Paul. Against most generic offense that the online Pauls run, will die to sidestep right. He has moves that counteract this, and at that point you're just playing Tekken, right? You're going to do an option that beats most of their offense. They're going to try and read it and then do their counter response when they can. Welcome to Tekken. But for this punch, right, you can either duck it if you want, but it's kind of hard to react to, right? There's no tell. He just kind of immediately jumps. So you just kind of have to go, oh, I think he's going to do the high punch on prediction and duck it. I think you're better off trying to use sidestep. It's very linear, and Paul is generally weak to sidestep right. Not mashing here is good. That move is plus. Don't mash. Nice whiff punish. This is really good. Right here, this is a 2-part string, a mid-mid -12 on block string. However, he can charge it to make it plus, which is what he's doing here. You need to back one. You need to either sidestep, because the string is pretty linear, especially if he starts charging it. You need to sidestep, or you need to back one right away, right? The counterpoint to this move, there's also setups involved with it, but the counterpoint is always going to be holding back and then immediately doing your 10 frame move as fast as possible. Turns out Feng has a pretty good 10 frame option here with back one, so do that. If you're letting him charge it up like this, you're just gonna eat the plus frames, right? If you're trying to step or mash, he's like +8 if that thing gets blocked, if the full charge gets blocked. So don't mash, don't try to move, just block. This was good. I like this. Okay, so if you see this kick whiff, right? 99.99% of the time, they're gonna do the second hit, which is a mid, right? And unfortunately, Feng's hop kick's kind of whack. Honestly, I don't know what hop kick's gonna reach there, right? I don't know what generic hop kick is gonna reach there. But if they are doing this, right, they're gonna finish the string. They're at least gonna do the mid, and 90% of the time at round start, for the most part, they're gonna do that punch right there, which is a duckable high, right? The move can end in mid or high. Blooming Lotus has talked about it. Use the replay takeover, block it, and practice launching it. Yes, he can do a mid. Then 90% of the time, they're not going to start with the mid. They're going to do the high. You're going to duck and launch it. Then they'll do the mid, and you'll know, I ducked it once. They're probably going to do the mid now, and then you're going to block and punish the mid, because the mid is -13 force crouch. Okay, so again, it feels like your whiff punishment and your experience in the matchup is kind of lacking here. Yeah, you can tell me you fought every online Paul, but you're not like learning the matchup when you fight them. You're just trying. This is an overarching theme throughout this set, is that you are too focused on just running your game plan and ignoring the fact that fighting games are two-player games. There's another human on the other side of that screen going, I'm gonna do this, and it's just beating you because of timing, because you're not ready to just block a little bit and then punish him, right? So yeah, if you see this low whiff, just block. Just block. Maybe there is a time and place where you can do a whiff punish on it before the second hit hits you. I don't think you're there yet. For right now, just block and then see, does he finish the string? If he finishes the string, how does he finish it? Most of the time at the start, it's going to be a high, so duck and launch. And then just be ready for them to mix it up with the mid. There's more layers to it, but that should be a decent enough start. What did I say? He does not. He will always finish this string, right? Don't mash. I don't know what you're trying to do. If you're trying to punish, don't mash. All right.
Round 3. Fight.
Talked about this again. At round start, this bro is built to press buttons, right? Okay, so another thing, this is a bit more advanced, right? So you're setting up these frame traps, and anytime that you put on pressure, this Paul will randomly duck. He's expecting maybe down back 3. Maybe he doesn't want to press into back 1. Whatever it is, he is reading that you're going to go high or low, right? He's ducking. Why are you continuing to press highs? You started off with a throw. He immediately ducked that. He didn't punish it, but he did immediately duck it. And you're too focused on your autopilot to recognize this, and then you do a high again. He's mashing, sure, but when you're pressing, when you have the advantage, right? He doesn't mash. He just starts ducking. He's waiting for a call out, right? We're going to see it later on. And that's the key difference here. When you press your panic buttons, you're doing it on your turn, right? Or in neutral, where it's why. Why does it matter? When he presses it, he's disrupting your offense. If you have a panic button, your offensive sequence should not be... This is the one that annoyed me. Your offensive sequence should not be, I'm going to do my string into a panic button, right? Is it here when you hit me? That's fine. No, it was earlier. God, he loves this one. Holy shit. Where does he? Oh, no, that was after. Oh, this is gonna bug me. When did he counter me with this one? We were just talking about it. Am I crazy? Wasn't here. Ah, right here. Oh. No, you did backswing though, and he kind of hits you out of it with low somehow. Oh, alright, I can't find it. But the idea here is look at all the times that he does his panic options after you're ready to press a button. But when you try to run your offense, he doesn't press that many panic buttons, he just starts ducking because he's reading like a high or low. You have to start adjusting your offense as a result. Don't just keep running your game plan. Look at how the opponent responds to your game plan, responds to your offense, and then go, oh, he's automatically ducking me. I should do more mids, right? Don't just autopilot the high or low or whatever. Like right here. You try to do something, then he immediately does the shoulder. When you press your panic buttons, more often than not, the issue is you're not doing it because the Paul is pressing something. You're doing it expecting him to mash after you press like a string or button. But he's actually kind of defensive. He actually just blocks a little bit, waits for you to press something, and then presses his panic option as a response. Maybe he's not doing it on purpose. Maybe he's just a god on reading your timing in particular. But that seems to be the overarching theme that I'm noticing here, right? The attempt to whip Punisher is solid. It's just, yeah. You had the right idea, just maybe the wrong move choice. Right here, he just blocked. Like, right, this is what I'm talking about, right? You do. My opponent blocked an option, time to hit him with the high, and it's like, he's reading that. Whether or not he's doing it on purpose, but he's reading that. And you just have to know that, oh, he's probably going to read that I'm going to go high. I should go mid, right? That one's tough. That's forward 4. That's just a fucking heat dash launcher, which is just insane. Down 1 does not hit grounded. The reason it hit you here is because you were mashing the quick get up. We can go into more detail, but I don't really know how this Paul likes to apply his Oki, so I don't want to give too much, go into too much detail, right? But if you stay on the ground, let him whiff a little bit, and then try to side roll. Yeah, he can hit you grounded with his options, but he seems to like down 1, which is understandable. That move's pretty good. But you just gotta let the down 1 whiff, and then side roll, and hopefully peel away from the wall. I pointed out a lot of the knowledge checks, and I pointed out a lot of stuff that, you gotta practice, replay takeover, and discover and see like what works, what doesn't. What can I move around, right? I'll tell you right now. The QCB 3-2-1, right? Don't try to step around this. That shit is like near homing. It's very weird. String tracking in this game is very weird, right? But something like the back to 1 charge here, right? This is very linear. You can move around this. You need to practice the timing, because right here the issue is your movement's too linear, right? Overarching themes, overarching like ideas here. You're too focused on running your game plan and not just simply just block. Just block. The Paul's gonna do something punishable, or just dash block in, dash in a little bit, and then block. Bait a move out from the Paul. It's probably gonna be a panic option, and then you just block and punish it, right? You need to change up the timings on your panic options. You're trying to do it when you have advantage, or when you've pressed like a string that's not punishable but it's safe, and you're like, okay, I'll be cheeky with my panic option, and he's never biting into it. Right here, this is where, right here, don't press a panic button here. Here, yeah, press a panic button after you've blocked like a string. When he goes button, then you start pressing your panic options. When he goes, I'm gonna block and keep blocking, don't start pressing your panic options. So I know we talked about, oh, I can give you more pinpoint feedback. I'm just kind of ironing out some knowledge matchups, or matchup knowledge issues here. But as far as like more pinpoint feedback go, I feel like there's an issue with how you structured your offense. However, I don't want to make this into a 40-minute video and waste your time further, right? I'm going to cut it off here, and I want you to tell me like, hey, this really helped, or hey, this did jack shit for me. You're full of shit, right? Let's try and be more okay. So now we have a good baseline, right? I pointed out some knowledge check issues. I pointed out some solutions there, and I keep glazing replay takeover because I think it is one of the best aspects of Tekken 8. You need to use replay takeover, and you need to start understanding what you're getting hit with. You're getting fucked up in this gamefish, whatever you said, right? Because you're just getting knowledge checked, and then you keep trying to run your offense without understanding that like the Paul is not falling for your basic offensive flowchart you have developed here. You need to start changing your options. If you're gonna keep going jab into high, right, and he keeps ducking, or if you go, I have plus frames, I'm gonna do a low, or I'm gonna do a throw or a high, right, and he keeps ducking, you got to start going mid. I also think, or I'll just say this: you can be spamming down back three a lot more than you are. I definitely feel like that, but different story. We can talk about that later. For right now, if you have questions, if this did not do anything for you, or if this helped you at all, let me know, and let's keep working on this. But for right now, stop mashing. Change up your timing. Your timing is the issue. You keep trying to force the timing that the Paul is countering very easily, and that's not going to work out in your favor, right? Uh, Learn your punishment. You just don't know any punishment. You don't know what to punish or how to punish it. That's what replay takeover is for. It will tell you this is punishable. Here's how to do it. This is minus. Here's how to do it, etc., etc., etc. I'm gonna leave that here, and then because I don't want to waste more time for you, and if you want to continue to develop that further, you're in the channel to ask the questions for it. All right, have a good one.